Do you find him attractive?
Who?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Not
I don't see him
traditionally,
as a handsome person.
but his acting really. Hey everybody, I'm Sergio Celis,
And I'm Hilario.
and welcome to Our Opinion. And today we're going to be talking about Arrival.
And it stars Jeremy Renner, Amy Adams, and
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker.
Just to start off by telling you whether you should see it or not, it is a big yes. This movie is beautifully shot and just a very well crafted story.
It has probably one of the best endings that I've seen. I don't know about the best endings, but one of the endings that just blows your mind. Like similar to how Fight Club just blew my mind when I first saw it. I can highly recommend it. It's just fascinating.
I agree 100%. I mean, this movie really just... It literally, at the end of the movie, it had me questioning a lot of things. Not, our place in the universe, but just in general, just the aspect of what the subject matter that they tackle in this movie. So, a big yes for me. See it at the theater. I'm assuming the same thing for you.
Giant yes for me.
All right.
It's definitely one of my favorite ones of this year.
Yeah. So now we're gonna get into the positives, what we liked about the movie, and the reason is that we just suggest that you go see it. My opinion, my reasoning behind it, I am a huge sci-fi fan, and this thing really just, it's not very sci-fi in a way like Star Wars or Star Trek or like, even like those movies. You don't see that kind of stuff. This movie is very, very grounded in the characters.
Yeah, it's very
specifically
like
Amy Adams.
first encounter type sci-fi.
And like always, when it's any first encounter movie, it's always they get here and humans
want to immediately attack.
Yeah, overreact and like, oh, we're in danger, blah blah blah. This, Amy Adams, I thought was perfect for the role. I thought she did great.
Same thing with Jeremy.
Yeah, and a lot of good chemistry between Jeremy Irons. No,
that's the guy. But
what's the Hawkeye guy? What's his name?
Jeremy Renner.
Renner. But between them and Amy, I think they had great chemistry. I mean, they played off each other beautifully. She's a linguistic expert, so her expertise in like languages and writing and all that stuff. And he's a theoretical physicist, so he's all about the science aspect of it. And then the fact that they have to work together to figure out the whole movie. The whole point of the movie is, why are they here?
What is your purpose?
Yeah, and they were working towards that. They were working towards that question, because the whole point of the movie wasn't just to go there and ask them why they're here. There was a big language barrier, which was the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
And then them trying to figure out their language, and then at the same time try to get them to understand our language. Which, when you at the end of the movie, you understand that our language is completely inferior to their language in the way they think.
For me, some of the positives were definitely the audio aspect. Now, because it doesn't really have that much of a score, but the way they utilize audio into the movie, it's very fascinating as the movie goes on, because like I said, it has to do with the language, and I don't want to spoil anything, but as you see the movie, you understand the way it works and the way they incorporate it into the scenes, as well as some of the imagery that they put in it. It's like, I want to get into more detail, but it's because that's to me was the most fascinating part.
Like usually we go into very detail into these movies, we tell you everything, but I think this one we don't want to. We want to, when you go see it, we want you to get literally blown away by the ending and the way and what realization and what they get to at the end. So I'm not gonna talk about what happens at the end. It's just a really great ending.
Yeah, because besides that, it's great chemistry from the little girl that she has to between her and Jeremy Renner. Well, Forrest Whitaker is also great on it. He plays an understandable military guy. Unlike usually when you see them, they're very, we're gonna attack first.
He really did just.
He said, we're gonna let you kind of handle this, and then we'll see what your analysis brings back, and then from there we'll move on to see what happens.
Yeah, and the thing you understand about him is that he is literally stuck between two different things. He is a military person that has to answer to higher help people. So every single time he's literally fighting against having to tell his superiors, give us more time, while his superiors are like, we have no more time. in the movie,
It's also very political.
yeah, in the movie, there is a lot of. It's not only happening in the U.S. It's happening in literally every
12
continent.
other countries.
It's 12 other ships that land there. So it's not only about us; it's about the world. So it gets very political, and our inability to basically work together. It's shown in this movie. You know, that's all the positives for me. And to be honest, I could go into negatives, but I really have none. There's only one. I think we both have the same negative. There's only one negative we both have, and that is in 2 occasions
The CG.
the CG. Not the ship, not the aliens. It's in the beginning. In the beginning when they first encounter the ship and they go inside.
And they're witnessing like how the gravity takes on a different form right there.
Yeah,
like
inside the ship.
Weightless, kind of. No, not weightless, because they're able to jump.
It shifts.
And then it shifts to the side.
So you when you go into this period of our gravity on Earth, I mean, you know, ground under us. When they go inside, it switches. So there's this little section inside the ship where you're literally weightless, and then you go higher, and then you land on their gravity, and now you're on their gravity, and it's flipped. It's different. I think theirs works. I don't know how it works, but they're walking basically on the walls from our perspective if we're humans looking up. At that point, the CG, they're wearing these hazmat suits. You could tell that they're fake CG, and they implant their heads inside so you can think that they're wearing it. Once they get in the ship, that goes away. I guess they're like in a studio with the bill set. The other time that it did not work is towards the end of the movie. She goes back into the ship.
And mainly the only problem I had with that specific scene is they decided to use CG on her hair.
I think
I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they went about it, but it just looked off. Because the only problem that threw me off was the way the hair looked in that particular area. Yeah. Because if they would have kept it together, it probably would have looked fine. Because
all they had to do is CG the ponytail kind of moving. But But when so basically at the end, she goes back into the ship, but this time she goes alone, and she gets inside a smaller ship that they sent down for her. When she goes inside, see, through the whole movie they were talking through their room, and then there was a glass or some sort of a barrier, and then there was them, and there was like this mist where they were. So
kind of similar to how you're seeing the YouTube video, and it would be like we're interacting to you, like through a video.
Yeah. So, but it was just a barrier that was separating them. So this time when she goes back in, they bring her into their environment. They're very smoky, like a mist environment. And when she gets out, imagine like you going from dry land to water. All of a sudden, you know, everything's floating. Her hair starts floating, and that just looks very off. It just doesn't look right. But that's only 2 instances, and then you get over it because the whole time the story's just grabbing you. Those are the only 2.
I was left with one question at the end, but even then, after just discussing a little bit, I got a sense that I knew what they were trying to accomplish with
like you'll leave kind of questioning what was the purpose of the movie, or at least what was the purpose of them coming to us. And they kind of explain it, so you kind of have to put it together yourself and try to find the real. In other words, I think a lot of people are going to come out with different interpretation of what the ending meant and what was the reasoning for them to come. I came to a different conclusion. Normally I would tell you, but if I tell you, I kind of have to spoil some things. And one thing, once again, we're not going to spoil any, at least not the ending. That's the only negative. Those 2 instances is the only. Pretty much the movie's basically
almost a perfect movie.
Perfect film. Yeah, I loved it. And don't expect. I mean, once again, don't expect to go in and get this crazy sci-fi movie. It's character driven. It's a slow burn, but since the way the movie's done, I feel that you're experiencing everything at the same time that they're experiencing. So you're not ahead of the story. You can't really jump ahead. Sometimes you might be like, oh, I kind of get what they're gonna do next, but that's as far as it goes. The whole time you are experiencing, and you are like learning things as they're learning it, and it is a fun experience, especially during the whole part of them trying to learn the language. In the language,
that to me was the most interesting aspect of it. But don't go into this movie thinking, all right, I'm gonna go see an alien fighting aliens type.
That happens one time, and it's not even really a fight. You'll see one, maybe action, if you can even call it an action beat.
It's not really an action. I don't say it that way.
It's just one instance where
the media kind of got to some soldiers, so they decided to kind of go with it.
They pretty much go rogue and decide to do something for themselves, which when you see it, you're going to be like, I can see that happening. Humans are stupid. So, yeah. And then they got easily manipulated by it because they were watching, like Fox News. They were basically watching of their version of Fox News through a laptop. Some of these soldiers, and it got into their heads, and they decided to do something really dumb. But that is the rest of the movie. It is all character driven. It is story driven, and if you like complex and very thoughtful movies that make you think, that you have to be engaged the entire time, you are really going to enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I agree with him 100%. It has to be in my top 5 for this year for damn sure.
Yeah, so far, yeah, I mean, and I just saw Doctor Strange. I thought it was a good movie too.
I thought it was okay.
We didn't do a video for that one because that came during the week of the World Series, so we were pretty occupied. Went to the rally and stuff, but that's another video. I'm gonna go into my score. As of right now, I mean, I think I might wait for it to come on DVD. I'll probably see it again and again. But as of right now, it is scoring high. I'm giving it roughly between a 9 and a 9.5 out of 10.
I'm giving it like a 9.3. It's almost a perfect film, but like I said, you know what? Like a 9.8. It's almost a perfect film. That CG threw me out a little bit, but not that much. So it's almost a perfect 10 for me.
Yeah. So that's our score. I think that's it, right?
Yeah. And if you guys have any comments, we would love to hear your opinion on the comments down below.
Just shout up your
like,
opinions.
subscribe.